I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits and Dreams Come True. And today's presentation is titled Wise Things That We Wish Someone Would Have Told Us at 18. Don't you wish you could go back to 18 and know what you know today? I think we'd be experiencing less stress and living a happier life in some ways. It's safe to assume that we would have done some things differently. I feel like I either didn't have much wise advice or most of the guidance I did receive never penetrated my brain. Maybe I was hard headed or simply a late bloomer. I'm really not sure, but I do wish someone would have branded some things into my brain so that I would experience less obstacles and pain along this journey. So, what do you wish a wise someone would have told you at 18 that you could go back in time? And what would you have told yourself? So, here are a few things that I wish I had heard and actually lived out. Now, before I get into them, this is what I want to say that often what a parent or an adult or any significant other person says to you, it's not that you don't hear it as much as that you have to make your own experiences, or rather, you have to make your own mistakes to learn because that's how you learn. So, what you know today is from your experience rather than just learning what someone else went through, and you can impart that information on someone else, but they still have to learn for themselves because we are the sum total of our experiences. So, 5 wise things I wish someone would have told me at 18. Number one, take the time to discover and pursue a career that resonates with the heart. Now, what we think we know at 18 and what we learn along the way in careers also has changed because where we were 30 years ago, where we are today is totally different. And one thing that I have said many times is that jobs that existed 30 or 40 years ago don't exist today. And the jobs that exist today didn't exist 30 to 40 years ago. And there are jobs in the future that haven't even been invented yet. I went to college just because my friends were going to college and to play sports. I had no clue about majors and couldn't care less about my future career. The only reason I chose a major is because my advisor made me. The reason I chose one I did is because it seemed to be the only class I got something out of. It was psychology, and at the time I enjoyed it more because I was trying to figure myself out. I wish I could have had someone sit down with me or had the inclination myself to take a period or research tons of careers and see what interested me. I would have tried to figure out what my passions were. Finding a career that I absolutely loved at an early age would have been a blessing. Now, before I go further with that, what I want to say is this that there's the Campbell interest inventory that you can take that can tell you where your interests lie. And you also have to look at it this way, that because of technology, where we are today is very different than where we were a few years ago. And job titles have changed, how you do business has changed. For instance, when I entered the workforce, everything was done offline. And because I have a disability, it was very difficult for me to get out there and market myself in my own business because I didn't have the same opportunities as everyone else to go out and hold a job, build up some financial security that I could put into a business, or because what I do is such an intangible, it wasn't something that I would qualify for a loan for to help me put into my business. And today, what I had to do offline by getting videos done and getting brochures made, all of that's done through my website today, which makes it a far easier way to build a business and to grow a business. Two, hard work equals success. Successful people don't normally have success thrown into their lap. Successful people have worked their butt off in order to achieve goals, whether it is a career, sports, raising a family. Hard work increases the chances of experiencing success. Too many people complain about failures and are jealous of those who have gained success. However, they are not willing to work hard. Many expect things to be just handed to them on a silver platter. So get them instantly. Success does not work that way. I wish that at age 18, I would have equated success with hard work the way I do now. Invest in learning how to budget and save money. I not only wish someone would have told me more about budgeting, frugality, or anything else. I wish that they would have hounded me and pounded it into my brain after all day, week after week, and year after year. I bought into the credit cards, personal loans, and buying things. I didn't need to impress people who could have cared less. Years later, I awakened to the mess I got myself into and made changes. However, at 18, if I would have been financially wise, my life would be so different today. Learning to budget and save money is a big deal, and we ought to be telling the youth of today every day. If you want to learn more about finances, check out the site Daily Finances, where we talk about financial literacy. Expect setbacks and challenges. I think I was naive as a young adult, thinking that life would be glorious all the time. However, the wise reality is that life is not a bed of roses. Things will go wrong. People will upset and hurt you. You will face challenges and obstacles. If we can embrace these truths at a young age and decide ahead of time to remain positive, we can more easily keep our heads up. You don't have to let setbacks keep you down or cause you to quit. You can learn from the mistakes and move on, digging deep down to get through obstacles and challenges. Be who you are. At 18, most people are still trying to figure out who they are, and society is right there trying to conform them into some status quo consensus of what is considered normal. I wish I had people in my life saying, be who you are and be proud of it. Diversity is a wonderful thing, and to think that everyone ought to be this or that is immature, whether it's the way one dresses, career choice, sexual orientation. Be who you are and smile. You are uniquely you and are precious indeed. So, what advice would you give the youth today? I'm sure there are lots of other things I wish someone had told me at 18, but these five ring the loudest. Perhaps as a young adult, we just aren't ready to hear and take to heart the solid advice. The good news is that it's never too late to start learning and implementing sound advice. We can learn lessons all along life's journey and share them with others. Life is a continual journey of learning and discovery, and that is exciting. So here's to the rest of our lives, full of wisdom, passion, hard work, peace, and immense joy. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is this, that each one of us is unique. Each one of us have qualities that fit us. And whether you're looking to leave a legacy for someone else, then you need to understand who you are and what makes you unique and different, and what perspective you have that can give someone else, because how you teach them is what's going to determine how you're remembered long after you're gone. And when you're 18, you look at life and say, you think you've got forever. And then before you know it, you're at the other end of your life. And it's like, well, it went too fast. So remember this. And really and truly, when you first start college, you know where your interests are, but you're not really sure if that's where you want to make your career. And then once you graduate college and start looking at a career, the skills you need, it's like a psychologist, if you're looking to do group therapy or any type of therapy, you're almost going to have that master's or PhD, simply because when it comes to insurance companies, they're only going to pay someone who's licensed. Or and because so much is being done online today, you need to be able to utilize the technology and know how to incorporate that into your business. So, and remember that you have to, when you're looking at a career, and that even if you work for a company today, you could be working for them remotely from home. So understanding certain skills, understanding where you're coming from, understanding what it is that you want, you have to know yourself. The problem is that at 18, we don't really know ourselves. We might think we do, but we really don't. And until we do that self-assessment and know where our strengths lie, and realize that what we know today It may be obsolete tomorrow, and there's new things coming in that can change how we see things in the next few years and into the future.